Hello, thanks for jumping on. I normally do my lives at 11 AM Australian Eastern Standard Time. This lovely weather we're having, I had a look yesterday and it's going to be a hot day, so I chose to change the time of my weekly live to 9 AM. It is about 9:15. Only because I had a few issues I wanted to sort out. But I come on weekly live for it to discuss. I have a rare condition called Perrault Syndrome. The way I explain it, you know how a baby walks and talks and communicates and focuses and stuff like that, and they go forward. I'm actually going backwards and I do not have a timeline when things will happen. I have been using a walker outside of the house, but I have noticed I needed a walker to inside the house. It's not something I need, but it makes it a lot easier, so I choose to use a walker. Just to make everything easier. As I mentioned in the title, I'll be making a kitty crunch bar. Chocolate kitty crunch bar that I love to make. And there's been quite a few comments on the product, so I'm going to be making that today. So let's get to it. It's lovely, nice and hot at the moment in Sunshine Coast, Queensland. I'd love to know where you're tuning in from, so I know where my lives get to. So what I mentioned is I like to get a medium bowl for everything in the end. What I start with is I like to use the no sugar. Hey Shannon, nice to be jump on. I use the sugar-free chocolate chips. So it says 1.5 cups. So I know that one of the packets are, fudge. One of the packets are 1 cup. And I use a plastic bag. Only because I know it's half a packet for the next lot, so I like to just put it in there to Ziploc bag it. Here is another option that I just thought of right now, is to put it in a container so the plastic bags are not waste. Oops. So half a cup at that one. And I just pour the rest in this one here. I'm trying to go green, so just a thought right now is to put it in a container to not waste the plastic bag, but I love to make these kitty crunch bars. So it's not waste anyway. Make sure that's sealed. Don't want it to go off. And it says to melt it, so I'll put it in the microwave for 1.5 minutes. And I use a cover as well, just to keep that cooking there while I do the rest. So the rest is I pre-chop my nuts. It makes it easier for me. I know it's not recommended for the oils and whatnot to stay in there. So what it says is 1 cup of almonds. Now you can choose whatever nuts you do, but I always try to follow a recipe that one of my Facebook friends does. And I just keep doing it the way I like. So I hope you're staying cool in this nice hot weather we're having, Shannon. Anyone else that's jumping on from the, oops, of course I make a mess. The weather did say it was going to be 38, but now it's 34, and someday it might be hot. So the next one I use is a pumpkin candles. I had to change what I've been using because it's out of stock. I'll make sure it's kiddo friendly. And this one here says half a cup, sorry. I keep the chocolate nuts in the microwave to stay nice and hot, even though it's nice and hot at the moment. And the next one is sunflower kernels. That's a quarter of a cup. Sometimes I might insert the cup to make it less messier. Make sure it's all sealed, otherwise you don't want the product to go stale. This one here, whoops, maybe cut it open, not rip it open, otherwise it might go everywhere. But I do have a vacuum cleaner that does a lot of the work anyway. So quarter cup of linseeds. The lovely buggers get stuck in the cup. One thing I didn't get out, and I had to change because this lovely COVID is coconut oil. Yeah, this lovely COVID is getting things out of stock, which is unfortunate, but it happens. Should do this before live, but and anyway, keep an eye on your chocolate chips that you heat up because you don't want them to burn. And it's a little burnt there, so I did keep an eye on that. Get things out the way. Make sure to stir it up really good. If there's clumps in there, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds more. Make sure it's all dissolved. One thing I've added in the recipe that it doesn't say to use is pink Himalayan salt. And with this lovely hot weather we're having, it's something I like to put in. I don't put in too much, I made that mistake. I found that later. Make sure that's all stirred in. You don't want to eat a piece of salt unless you like that. Sleeve. Yes. And then a quarter cup of coconut oil. This lovely hot weather makes it liquid, so it's a lot easier. When it was the cold weather, I had to scoop it out and put it in the microwave to dissolve. Make sure you get everything out. Stir that one in. It makes it a lot easier to stir as you go, putting one thing in. Otherwise you put everything in and then it takes a little bit longer to stir in. It does still work, but it takes its time. Put the lid back on that one so I don't knock it over. I have something else to clean up. And then sugar-free maple syrup, something I like to use a lot of. I'll make sure I have one handy, and this one's almost out. Yep. Carefully put that down. Get the other one, which I made sure I got in my shopping because I knew I was running out. That's something I like to put on my yogurt as well. It's a little bit of sweetness. So that's half a cup of sugar-free maple syrup. Make sure you try to get all of that out. Put the lid on that one so I don't make a mess. It's either the weather or the coconut oil I had to switch to is making it a lot liquidy. It'll probably not be as liquidy with the nuts in there, so that's good. And the other one I put in is have 1 cup of the sugar-free peanut butter. I pretty much know what 1 cup is, otherwise it'd be a mess. So it's almost a whole jar of this thing. Make sure I stir it around because the natural oil is on the top. So much I can stir. And I just pour in what I know is 1 cup. I've done this many times, so I pretty much know what 1 cup is. As well as when I taste it, it tastes fine. Now I don't measure out 1 cup because it's very messy. So I just use a knife. Normally not a steak knife, but that's what I had handy. I'm glad I'm doing this live now. Down to warm up. Got the fans on full wall and the windows open. Go wash my hands. And I made sure I had a cold drink before I did this live. Just to cool my body down as well. Make sure you share all that in as well. It's up to you. if you stir it all in. Otherwise, this happens like a marble effect. So it's up to you if you like to keep it a marble effect or just stir the whole thing in. And what I do, which I won't do on this live, is just baking paper in a lined tray. I'll put the picture in afterwards. It can get a lot messy, so I won't do it on this live. And yeah, just pour the nuts in and stir it all around, and then put it in the lined baking paper tray, and then put it in the freezer. Put it in the freezer for about an hour just to make sure it's set, and then take it out and cut it into sizes. And then in this lovely hot weather, I've been putting it in the freezer. It just tastes a lot nicer. So yeah, I'll put the recipe in the link below, and I hope you all have a good day, or good night, or good evening, wherever you're tuning in from. I hope you have a good one. Just follow kindness.